BNAC is committed to addressing what people with MS are seeking, a cure.
The Buffalo Neuroimaging Analysis Center, or BNAC, has been involved over the last 20 years in the research and treatment of multiple sclerosis and other neurological diseases. Our primary research focus is to find the cure for MS. We have been involved in more than 80 clinical trials as a centralized core lab, have experience collaborating with over 450 centers around the world, located on 5 continents in more than 60 countries. BNAC has published over 500 scholarly articles in peer-reviewed journals and presented more than 200 platforms and 750 posters on international and national meetings. BNAC has participated in more than 40 million in research grants.
In 1981, MRI was first used to view the brain of a person with MS. Buffalo, known as having one of the highest prevalence of MS in US, was also one of the first centers to introduce MRI in the clinical use. Dr. Jacobs, a pioneer of MS therapeutics, supported the funding of Buffalo Neuroimaging Analysis Center.
The BNAC back then was just a single office. Dr. Zavadinov joined us in 2003, and over the next decade grew it to be one of the top MRI centers in the world.
We've really evolved from a one-room center to an over 10,000 square foot research facility.
At this point, BNAC is in the unique position to tackle the most complex questions of neurological research from various angles. We now cover the complete translational spectrum, from basic research to clinical implementation. Very few other places like this exist in the world.
BNAC pushes the boundaries of neuroimaging and leads directly to saving lives, in improving healthcare, and in improving the lives of people with neurological disorders.
BNAC strives to extend the boundaries of the current knowledge about neurological disorders like multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and strokes, among others, through innovative imaging research techniques and the application of bioinformatic resources, including artificial intelligence.
We have an important opportunity to finally investigate what are some of the structural changes in the brains of these individuals.
The BNAC represents a very unique asset for MS researchers in Buffalo because it has enabled us to conduct studies across a range of disciplines that we would not be able to conduct independently or alone.
BNAC's research focuses on applying magnetic resonance imaging in rigorous and innovative ways to better understand the onset, progression, and underlying mechanisms of MS and other neurological diseases. Using techniques including quantitative brain volumetry, susceptibility-based iron imaging, diffusion connectivity, resting state functional imaging, myelin-sensitive imaging, and others, BNAC has been able to show how current treatments affect brain atrophy, how functional flexibility can help compensate for structural damage, and how remyelination can be promoted.
One of the research areas that we have been actively working on is brain connectomics. So we're looking at structural connectivity as well as functional connectivity, how disparate aspects of the brain talk to each other essentially.
Another key technology here at BNAC is brain iron MRI. We use a unique technique called quantitative susceptibility mapping, or QSM for short. This technique allows us to study how neurological diseases affect tissue iron in the brain and how these alterations modulate disease activity. We also continuously improve imaging techniques like QSM to make them even more accurate and detect tissue pathology earlier and more precisely.
BNAC is an ISO-certified organization that brings to every clinical trial a high degree of professionalism and integrity.
From the standpoint of clinical trials, BNAC has played a key role in providing the imaging analysis for trials that have really revolutionized the armamentarium that is available for the management of multiple sclerosis. And through those studies, we have means now to stabilize and potentially even reverse the cognitive dysfunction that occurs in that disease state.
One of BNAC's key missions is to help translate the lessons learned as a top-tier international research neuroimaging laboratory, including academic integrity, rigor, and reproducible scientific standards, to the broader world of clinical trials. We want to help our colleagues and industry partners conduct their trials using the best possible tools and approaches.
BNAC is actively serving as centralized MRI core lab for multiple neurology and cardiology-based regulatory trials. We provide a large set of quantitative, cross-sectional and longitudinal MRI measures, such as CNS lesion analysis, specific atrophy measures, and structural and functional outcomes.
BNAC's diverse range of preclinical models can investigate various aspects of MS pathology. For such investigations, Preclinical Core Lab is well equipped to generate behavioral outcomes, high-resolution MRI and PET serial imaging, histological measures, genomic characterization, and various biochemical assays. This allows the Core Lab to focus on characterizing specific aspects of MS therapy and pave the way for future clinical research.
The leaders and the faculty of BNAC have trained undergraduate students, graduate students, MD, PhDs, and fellows. In my building, right outside my office, I see the whole group of them working all the time. Such important work, and so important to train the next generation. When you think about the increasing role that imaging is playing in translational research, it's particularly important for us to train new leaders in this field and new experts in this field, and BNAC is doing that.
The center is a comprehensive unit that really can handle any aspect of clinical trials. It really epitomizes the ultimate research and educational learning center. It's a concentration of multidisciplinary individuals who have consistently taken advantage of funding opportunities to do innovative work.
BNAC is also a wonderful and essential resource for all MS researchers. We are all able to bring our individual strengths, scientific expertise, and understand how they affect the brain via the MRI metrics and other imaging measures that the BNAC provides.
BNAC consists of some of the most innovative investigators on the University of Buffalo campus, but in addition to that, they are also some of the most productive. I mean, we are talking about producing a paper every week in a peer-reviewed journal.
Working in a neuroimaging laboratory with such an impressive track record was a privilege, and the opportunity to publish my scientific data helps me a lot in advancing my scientific career in neuroscience research.
BNAC's dynamic and innovative environment truly facilitates the training and growth of future researchers. Through my PhD experience at BNAC, I've acquired core scientific skills and principles that will continue to serve me as a foundation for all my future research and career endeavors.
I could not be happier with my choice to having finished my PhD with BNAC. There's this multidisciplinary culture in BNAC. Physicists and computer scientists and neurologists and neuropsychologists, and the range of expertise here is just overwhelming, and I recommend it to any students considering it from here on in.
BNAC research provides hope to MS patients, especially people with secondary progressive MS that have not had a lot of research done.
BNAC benefits MS patients through its extensive research efforts, its ability to train the next generation of MS researchers, and its community outreach endeavors.
BNAC has always maintained a patient-centered focus on their research. They care about the patient. They listen to the patient.
BNAC has really stood out as being committed to the patient's perspective.
When I became aware of the extent and the depth of the research that BNAC produces, I was surprised, shocked, and all in a pleasantly positive way. This is groundbreaking. This is incredibly supportive to those of us who are always looking for something positive and fighting this blasted disease.
Over the last 20 years, we proudly helped revolutionize the use of imaging in multiple sclerosis and other neurological disorders.
We are looking forward to many more years of contributing to scientific advancement.
If you want to find out more about BNAC, collaborate with us on preclinical or clinical trials,
participate in research projects, and support our educational and patient-oriented endeavors.
Please visit our website at www.bnac.net or contact us to arrange a meeting.
We look forward to speaking with you.